So, hello, my name's Sean Wright, and I'm joined by none other than British middleweight Linus Udofia. Welcome, Linus. Thank you for joining me.
How you doing? You're right. Thanks for having us on.
No problem. I'm good, thank you, mate. So, I'll get straight into it. May the 13th, you face Denzel Bentley in a mouth-watering fight for the neutral. It'll be for the British middleweight title. We all know it's a much coveted and prestigious title, and really sought after. I think this has been on your radar for a while now, hasn't it? I've seen sort of various footage and posts on your social media on how much respect you give this title. What does it mean to you, this fight?
This fight, this title, this whole occasion, all of it is massive to me. This is absolutely, in my head, this is monumental to me. This means a lot to me. Not only my own personal accolade for my coach, you know what I mean? I'm a fighter that he's brought from ground roots all the way to now. And you know what I mean? It's a massive thing. When we win this title, it's going to be massive. Also, not only my own personal achievement, my coach's personal achievement, but also the town of Luton as well. Like, I feel like I'm carrying the town on my back as well. And it's not negative pressure, but I've always, I think a lot of my town. I love my town. I love where I'm from, and the town's had a really bad reputation ever since I can remember. And I want to show people that a lot of good can come from the town. And how timing's going right now. In May we could have a British champion from Luton for the first time in about 16 years, a decade or so. And Luton, if we make playoffs and do playoffs, we can be in a Premier League team by next season. We could be a Premier League team by next season. So this is more than just a night, a title, this and that. There's so much behind this, so much of a accolade instead of just my own personal accolades. The British belt is, in my opinion, one of the most prestigious and beautiful belts of boxing, and winning that will be absolutely massive for me.
Yeah, you mentioned there, obviously, Denzel's a tough proposition. I think there's been plenty of respect between the pair of you on the build-up. You're obviously very focused on the fight. Would it have mattered who you were matched with this fight?
No, not necessarily. Obviously, if the opponent was more rowdy and things like that, it could make it a little bit more spicy and things like that. But I think this is a spicy fight as it is because of where both our pedigrees, both our statures, both our both our records, both our talents. Like, it's a spicy enough fight as it is. Personally, it wouldn't have really mattered. It's always been about the goal, not about the accolade and that, not the person I'm fighting. So it didn't really matter who I was going to be fighting for. It my goal and my eyes and the way I've been working would have still been the same.
Yeah, I mean, you've had some excellent performances against the likes of sort of John Hardy Jr. and Tyler Denny already. But do you feel this would be a fight that sort of would really announce you in the division and be a bit of a breakout fight for you?
I feel like I've had a couple of breakout fights, but not how you would expect. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
obviously the good breakout fight, and that did a lot for me. That did wonders for me. The Eric Wanko fight when I was signed with David Hay, that was a good breakout fight for me. That was kind of mainstream. Dave, it kind of got me a different platform because I got a highlight reel knockout on that one. Winning the title against Tyler Denny got me on a different stage and it elevated me a little bit more. That was a bit of a different breakout. And John Hardy Jr. was a different breakout because that was a specific demographic, the Sky audience and things like that. And now this is the whole country. This breaks out to the whole country. So I feel like I've had a few breakouts, but this is now the whole nation is going to be watching. I could break out through the whole nation here. Yeah. So yeah, I do feel like this is a breakout.
I think that's a really good point you make, and at the risk of sounding a bit of an old geezer, this fight's going to be on Channel 5 on terrestrial TV, as you mentioned there. And coming from myself, who some of the fights on ITV on the big fight nights really sort of whet my appetite and got me really interested in boxing as a young man. And I speak to a lot of boxers who, sort of Ben and Eubank and Collins, that kind of era. How big is it for you, and how excited are you that basically anyone can tune into this fight? It's on terrestrial TV. That must be a massive factor. That must be really exciting for you.
Oh, it's absolutely massive. Like, you know, when I actually sat down and thought about the stage and, you know, the occasion, the promotion, you know, all of it, the production, every single part of this fight is actually crazy, and I'm incredibly humbled and proud of myself that, you know, when I actually said it back to myself, I was like, you know, I'm headlining my own title fight live on Channel 5, prime time, free to air to millions of viewers. Like that's crazy for the English. I mean, sorry, for the British middleweight title. Do you know what I mean? In an active live fight. So I feel nothing but pride. Like every time I like say it back to myself, I always get a little smile. You know what I mean? I'm incredibly proud of myself and where I've got to. And you know, this isn't the end. This isn't my peak. You know what I mean? There's a lot more to do. But right now, May 13th is where we announce to the nation who we are.
I think you should be right to be really proud of yourself, mate. And also, obviously, now you're working with Wasserman and the Sauerland brothers, who they've had successes with the World Boxing Super Series, and we've seen what they've done with that, and particularly the production of it. And that must be really exciting. It must have been great for you to sign with those guys.
Oh, 100%. It was fantastic when I got the call from my manager saying Wasserman were interested in meeting me. And, you know, we started talking contracts and things like that. And their vision, when we actually sat down and they outlined what they wanted to do, I was not shocked. I was like, okay, this feels right. This is, you know, I've been a secret for a while. I've been a kept secret for a while. I've been very patient. I've done the right things. I've done everything I've been asked of. And I believe I'm a massive talent. And it felt right that a big name like Sauerland and Wasserman came knocking and said, you know, we want to promote you. We think you are the bollocks, and we want to show the world you are. And it was perfect. It felt wicked. And you know, Wasserman and Sauerland's, you know, I mean, and my manager Steve Goodwin, you know, a different side there. Like Goodwin's like done an amazing job with me, and he's pushed me completely from small hall to where I am now. So, you know what I mean? With that relationship, it's more than business there. That's a close personal friend to me. Sauerland and Wasserman, they've come on board with me. We've been with them for about just under a year now, and you know, they've been perfect. I've got nothing awful to say about them. They've been very interactive with me. They pushed me, and I feel the love with a lot of other places that I've been in. A lot of different places I've been, without, you know, saying any names, I haven't really felt that love. I've always kind of felt like the bridesmaid, and kind of never just felt like, you know, the guy that you in football terms, the reserve, you know what I mean? He's not even on the bench, you know what I mean? I've always felt like I was really never going to get anywhere near the pitch. But with these guys, you know what I mean, I feel like I'm the captain, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm the gaffer. So, you know what I mean, I've got nothing but absolute, you know what I mean, great things to say about Wasserman and Sauerland.
Yeah, I think it's great there. You've obviously got a real team ethic instilled about your sort of the way about your go business already. In the interview you've mentioned your trainer and people that have supported you, and your manager there, Steve Goodwin. I suppose quite a lot can be attributed to the early part of your career where you were really guided carefully and you've had to be patient, but like you said, you've had some really good breakout fights now. And has it been, you alluded to it there, has it been quite difficult for you knowing that you're getting better and better and being sort of reined in a little bit, and now the sort of shackles are off and you're able to show your talent? Has it been, like I say, has part of it been to have to be patient and stuff and wait for your opportunity?
Yeah, 100%. You know, there were times where I tried to myself, and you know, I tried to move too fast. I tried to set up my own fights and things like that, calling people out, etc. Not letting them, you know, like not letting the matchmaker or XYZ do their job. And my manager reined me in. He explained to me, and you know, luckily I'm a very good listener. And he kind of just said, like, your trainer trains you, you fight. That's what you do. I manage. The promoter promotes. Let everybody do their job, and you will get to where you need to get to. And you know, I heard that. You know, that was one of the truest things I've ever heard. So I heard that, and I just went, you know what? Hands up. Everyone do their job. I just have to do mine, which is fight and win. Perfect. And that's why we go well, because everyone does their job, and everyone has got one interest, and that is to win and get to the top. You know what I mean? And so it's just the team and the people I have around me, it all works well. Yeah.
What kind of fight have you prepared for? Is there a particular way that you see the fight playing out? What kind of style are you expecting from Denzel?
There's not really a style per se that I'm expecting from Denzel. I've trained, prepared for any possible scenario. We know what Denzel's about, but it doesn't mean that that's the Denzel we're going to get on the night. So we've just kind of prepared for every single scenario. We've scrubbed up and made sure we've polished off all our mistakes, all our little bad habits and things like that. We've made sure we made ourselves as perfect as possible, and we've given ourselves every single tool to deal with whatever Denzel will bring.
Yeah. I mean, it's been noted by a few, obviously, that recently it was sort of put out there in the public that you've been sparring Felix Cash, who, apart from anything else, obviously is an exceptional talent. But no doubt you gained a little bit of insight from him, from someone who shared a ring with Denzel. And also, just playing devil's advocate, was there a little bit of sort of kidology in there, sort of showing that you've been sparring with someone who'd beaten him before?
No. There's no kidology. I don't, mind games I don't really have time for the mind games and things like that. Maybe if, Denzel was that kind of fighter where, he likes mind games and,